Hello everybody and welcome back to the Grid Watchers podcast. My name is Ollie and on today's episode we will be reviewing the Bahrain Grand Prix where Sebastian Vettel pipped Valtteri Bottas to the win. Hamilton, a great drive to come back into P3. Of course, Red Bull having an awful race. Williams just not turning up. Gasly getting 4th place. And of course, Raikkonen not finishing the race after a horrible leg break for his mechanic. We will also be talking about F1 Esports, as well as previewing the Chinese Grand Prix next weekend. But guys, if you do enjoy the podcast, let us know below. Let us know all your thoughts about the race and everything we talk about in the comment section below. Don't forget to check us out on iTunes. We're also on Android download and of course on YouTube. Hopefully you enjoy. Subscribe if you are new, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to the Grid Watchers podcast, episode number 29 this evening. I was about to say 27, but we're on 29. To review the Bahrain Grand Prix that happened this weekend, and I'm joined as usual by December, Rickson and Causa. And lads, it wasn't a bad race. I particularly enjoyed it, with lots of overtaking, controversy and strategy coming into play.
I enjoyed it. Probably I would say it's best race so far this season.
There's been two. Fucking crap. Actually, there was one before it, and I think any race could have beat Australia.
You fucking melon.
No, but seriously, I think for me, quality race. I don't mind that Hamilton didn't win just because of those last couple of laps. That I don't usually watch F1, and I'm always multitasking. Like I might be doing a bit of work as I'm watching it, but that was the first race in a long time where I've just watched the race, and that's saying something because I rarely ever do that. And I think that last the battle between Bottas and Seb right at the end was quality.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Was it a quality battle? I mean,
it was a quality
battle. With it.
It wasn't a battle so much, but more Bottas closing down. Is he going to overtake? Is he going to?
It was a half-assed attempt into turn one, though.
Yeah, exactly. He dived in too early.
Either dive in there and then commit to it, or set himself up for the next turn. But he did neither of those.
I think it was. I mean, if he'd stayed behind and tried it on the second straight, or later on in the lap when he was closer, he would have got him. But no, he dived well. He tried to dive in, it didn't work, and then he compromised at turn one, and he was just behind for the rest of the lap. I think, it shouldn't have done it. Should have waited.
Yeah.
Simply bottle ass. There we go.
Don't try and meme.
Tried it. He's tried.
Should be on WTF1. That was that bad.
I am going to be honest. I missed a few laps of the Grand Prix, about 45 of them.
What,
45?
You missed 3/4 of the race.
As soon as Max crashed, you just turned it off.
No. I told you guys I was at football and we watched the start in the van we rented driving back. We watched the start. And I was like, Ricardo out, fucking hell. Max out, right, let's keep watching. And then someone offered me a beer and it all went downhill.
So it usually goes.
But I watched like the final laps, the final 5 or 6 laps. And I don't know, I just took one look to the left and see the timings, how far apart everyone was. And at that moment I thought oh, here we go, same again. But apparently it wasn't.
Apparently, he didn't stay and watch it.
No, because if you see the gaps, first and second are within 1 second of each other, you're like, ooh, decent. And then you look down and then suddenly, bang, 23-second gap, and you're like, what?
Yeah, but there was a lot of kind of, like the pit stops made a big difference. And I think now that they've made the harder compound tyre faster, or closer to the softer,
more usable.
It definitely makes the 2-stop like an option, just a single option. Because before it was like a 1-stop, or otherwise you've got no chance of winning. Whereas now it's like you can take the 2-stop, but
or go on the harder compound. I can see what you mean, Rickson.
Yeah, like you are going to have to push the car a lot more, which is fun to watch because it's always good to see the fastest lap time tumbling and getting quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've still got to think that the one stops quicker, even if your tyre's going to be completely shot by the final.
Yeah. Well, like Vettel said on his team radio when he finished, so obviously the grazie, some Italian.
Grazie, pasta la pizza.
For the Ferrari.
And then
Mario Luigi.
and then the first thing the first thing he said after that was that his tires were completely shot. So I think 5 more laps and Bottas might have had him being on, but I don't know. But I read I like watched videos and read, but how do you call it? Not a review, but like interviews and everything after the race for everything that I missed. And I think we're heading the right way this season. Apart from Australia, which was 70 to 80% the track's fault for being shit.
Agree, totally.
Yeah, I do agree.
I mean, we've just sort of unfortunately just jumped straight to the end of the whole race rather than talk about the.
Yeah, that was just an overview. That was.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But going sort of back to the start of the race, it was entertaining. So much overtaking, and I know this is a hard subject for me in December to talk about, and we've got Rickson here as well. So, Max and Lewis.
Oh Christ! Don't get me
Was
started
it
on that bastard.
Lewis or was it Max or was it a combination between both? That is the
Neither.
question I want to
It
ask.
was, it was just racing. You
Yeah.
can't say that it was anybody's fault. It was just.
Wow.
It's just racing. There was nobody's fault. To be fair, right? No, they both had a part to play in it, but because of that, it was nobody's fault. One, it's racing. They're battling. They're both quite far back. They both want to charge through the grid. They're going to make desperate moves when they don't need to. Makes perfect sense for me for Lewis to try that move and Max to hold him off the way he did. I don't see anything wrong with that. There was a little bit of contact, sure, but
if you take the FIA look at it, not saying we should, because like Rickson explained, it goes. That's like perfect explanation. Just racing incident. If you turn the roles around, it would have been the same result. But if you look at it from an FIA point of view, they would probably be like, oh, he's got a nose ahead, so he has to brake and yield and yada yada yada. But you don't have to brake and yield. You can, like a few years ago, you could just completely shut the door on someone coming up the inside.
Yeah, but that's what the FIA brought back last year, was that there'd be less heavy on penalties for racing incidents because it's racing, because they want to keep that hard racing. And in fairness, because it was Max at the inside who's then pushing Hamilton one, and Hamilton's going, well, no, this is still my better track. I'm not backing out.
Yeah.
And, it's just racing.
It's just unlucky that he had a puncture. Like, say, imagine he didn't have a puncture. Everyone would be like, oh, ballsy. And then Hamilton would have lined up a move on him in the next 5 or 6 corners. And then, you had something to look at. So it's just a bit unfortunate, but racing incident, I guess.
Max drove over his wing, like that's obvious. But I think the straight line speed in the Merc compared to the Red Bull, because there was a straight coming up, Lewis would have got him anyway, regardless.
Yeah, would have got him anyway.
So
can I just say quickly before we go any further, it was Max overtaking Lewis, not the other way around.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is
straight after.
What I'm saying is straight after Lewis would have got him straight. I don't
think you would have, because he was compromised by the corner. You wouldn't have got him.
Well, there is a big difference in straight line speed between the Merc and the Red Bull. I reckon
Slipstream and the Merc.
Lewis with Slipstream would have just breezed past him like he's not even there.
Or just dived out of the inside now, and it's then quite an open corner.
One of those, and it would have happened. So like, I don't see what the big fuss is.
Also, in like the opening laps, there was an incident, but they didn't like really show a replay of it or go into much detail. But who was it? Was it Perez that spun in lap 1?
Perez and Hartley. Hartley, my man, getting right in there.
Hartley fucked him up in like the first lap in like the third corner.
No prisoners.
He was like, gotta do this for Chuk on the Grid Watchers podcast. Boys, watch this. He just dives in,
I gotta be ballsier.
Yeah,
I need to get up to third.
Well, Gasly almost did it for me. Almost got the title.
Yeah, but that's not the same as Hartley, because we all know Hartley wasted. He's just shit. He's just sat in that seat. He's sweating all his horrible sweat.
Unfulfilled potential in a Formula One car, Rickson.
Yeah, you can tell it already.
Yeah, he's shit, man. He's so bad. He's worse than both Williams drivers together. Like he's that.
No, he's not. No, he's not. That's such rubbish. That's absolute.
You're only saying that because you love Hartley, all right?
Yeah, he's
But
a cool guy.
Going back to Hartley or Toro Rosso in general, I don't know, like say Helmut Marko and Christian Horner are completely fed up with Max's behavior, and I don't know if being demoted to Toro Rosso is a promotion or being demoted at the moment, because the Toro Rosso is actually finished.
I don't think that would ever happen.
They won't move Max. Not a chance.
I think. For Gasly, Toro Rosso and Gasly, to come fourth is incredible. What's more incredible is those Honda engines. They've absolutely fleeced everyone there. They were like, oh yeah, Honda's shit. We're all going to change engines, and then they've just come in this season and finessed everyone. Nobody saw this coming.
Have you heard how they sound, the Honda engines when they're stationary?
No.
They sound, because they were talking about it on Dutch TV. They sound a lot different than all the other teams. It's just the way. Yeah, but it sounds really good. Trust me. Like we want to go back to more engine noise, and I think Honda's on the right way. It sounds so good, just stationary, not when it's moving, but it's something.
It's amazing.
It is crazy though how much they've come along from last season. Like I'm not sure what they've been, what kind of dev work they've been doing, but it's definitely a massive step up from last year. And I think I'm not too sure on Hartley. I think Hartley's just there to fill the seat, but having Gasly there, he's some talent, and I think that it showed over the weekend that he's going to go very far. He just needs to get in a Red Bull ASAP, really. But again, that's going to be difficult, and it's not going to happen for years yet. So
what if Carlo
He's only got one. Yeah, exactly. He's only got
until
he
May.
Have a new contract. Yeah.
He's got until the end of May.
Gasly has got a contract.
No. Ricardo's only got a contract to the end of the season.
Yeah, but come on, they'll
not even that. Not even the end of the season, Duke. He's got to decide by the end of May what he wants to do.
Oh, really?
I mean, if this isn't Kimi's last season, I reckon Kimi's got this season and one more season in it.
Yeah.
So I reckon that seat's going to be held for now. So he could sign a 1 year at Red Bull, and that's basically telling Christian Horner that after this season he's moving, no questions asked. So don't know. It'll be interesting. Now I know that it'll be cool to see what happens, but he definitely won't want to go down. He won't want to go to like Force India or someone like that. So it's only going to be up. It's only going to be one of the top two teams, and I think Merck will wait for Max. I think they're going to keep Bottas until Max becomes available, and then put him and Lewis in there. Looking further down, I think Seb's going to stay where he is until he quits now, probably. I think he's going to be the new Michael Schumacher face, if you know what I mean. That kind of driver.
I'm with Rick's now.
Yeah, because he's pulled Ferrari out of the dirt, really. They've been pretty shit for a few seasons now, and suddenly now that he's in the car, they're absolutely phenomenal. So I think Vettel will stay where he is for a long while yet, and then we need like a big driver shake-up. We haven't had a big driver shake-up for a few years now, so we need them spicy driver movements.
It's just the thing is, it's not. You look at the football. There's so many teams that people will go to, but Formula One, there's only the 10 teams you've got on the grid. So we're limited unless they bring the cost down, which they are talking about. Recently, they had a meeting and about reducing the costs and changing some of the aerodynamics in the engine related to 2021, I think it was, season. Yeah. So that will allow more teams, hopefully, to come into the sport. And hopefully that will have more chances for just driver changes. Because I remember years ago when people were changing all the time, and we never see that these days.
No, when everyone's contracted to some team like years before we even get into F1, that's the current issue, isn't it? So you look at like Lando Norris is already basically for Mercedes. He's already their development driver. And then you've got Giovinazzi was with Ferrari ages before, and everyone's sort of contracted very early on. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. But people like Sorokin and stuff are sort of pretty open. So there are drivers like that. But Sorokin is, I would say Sorokin is a slightly less shit version of Stroll.
I wouldn't say. I say he's had shit. Williams are just catastrophic.
That car is awful.
But is it the car or the drivers?
It's both, man.
Both.
That car is wank. Massa is in my top 10 drivers, and he carried that Williams like last season. He made that Williams look good.
Yeah, we didn't appreciate it while he was there, did we?
No, Stroll got one lucky podium in Baku, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Stroll's like a geezer now." He's just a Yank that's been bankrolled by his dad to get a driving seat. Like
he's not American. He's Canadian.
Oh, he's close enough.
They all count as Yanks, man.
Yeah, but Canada is like Wales.
What?
It's just a
worse version.
Stop being racist. Let's move on.
What? Was that being racist?
That's like saying Asian people all look the same.
Wow, that's racist.
I didn't say that. That was a quote.
Wow.
From? What was it a quote from?
Someone clip that. Just that sentence.
Right, guys. Breaking news.
What?
The mechanic at Ferrari. No, just kidding. Sorry.
Oh God.
I just saw a tweet that he's out of the hospital. I wanted to make a joke with breaking. It may be so uncomfortable.
Bro, he breaks it. It looks like his like whole leg just gets absolutely mangled.
It broke in two places. But
yeah,
now that we're on it anyway, I fucking hate the way the media were like, "Ooh, Kimi doesn't care." What can Kimi do at that moment? He just said, "I hope he's fine." Period. That's just Kimi. That's it. Get over it.
Like he isn't gonna. When I say he isn't gonna stop his car and get out, he did stop his car and get out, but for safety reasons, he's not gonna suddenly stop when he randomly feels some guy's leg getting crunched under his left rear.
Well, did you see him walking towards the garage? That when he first started walking there, he was going to walk towards the guy that was on the floor, and then probably saw about 20 people around him.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 20 people around him, and then you've got the services that are going to be getting. You don't want a guy there in a massive crash helmet and all his racing gear who stinks like shit because he's sweating so much.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was going to, he was looking and going, "Shall I go in? Shall I not?" Was walking that way, then just sort of went into the garage. So you can't exactly say Kimi's exactly heartless for that. He is
a heartless bastard. He is, but he's not that hard. Yeah, that was mad though. That's one of the worst things I've seen probably since Jules, man. That was fucking horrible. That
was, yeah.
Yeah, it was just nasty, and I hope he has a speedy recovery because that really looked like it hurt. The mechanic, you have a F1. I don't know how much an F1 car weighs, but it's heavy rolling over your leg. But one other, while we're on the sort of post F1 race stuff, the Dutch.
I apologise for him already.
It was. I don't remember the question off the top of my head, but he was questioning Lewis about why he called Max a dickhead in the commentary in the
room,
post-race area. It felt like he was just trying to stir. It was like someone from the Sun or the Daily Mail trying to get a stupid headline to get clickbait, and it was just like there was no point for that question.
No, but that's all it's about these days, especially how...
I know, it is wrong. It's wrong, but it's the way it is, like you said.
Now that the media is a bigger thing in F1, journos are going to want to get the spicy answers and ask ridiculous questions, just hoping that one of them will slip up. But stupidly, you don't ask those types of questions to the top drivers who have been doing this for years and years. You ask people like Lance Stroll, like Pierre Gasly, the new guys who aren't exactly used to that type of, having all those people with big cameras looking around you. If you want to get a juicy story, you want to go for them rather than Lewis Hamilton,
Well, it's like when Hulkenberg went up to Magnussen and just went to suck my balls in front of all the cameras. Like, that's basically inexperience. Just going straight up to someone while they're being interviewed and saying that. And then there's a difference between that and then Lewis and Seb being asked similar questions.
Yeah, but someone... Oh, fuck, I saw the video this week and I can't remember who it was. That got into a crash with Hamilton, and then also when Hamilton was being interviewed, walked up to him and then Hamilton just went, "Don't touch me." Who was that again?
Massa.
Oh yeah, that was Massa, yeah. But
yeah.
But Corsa brought it up already. We were like Magnussen and Hulkenberg. The media just goes a bit like, ooh, funny banter, ha ha ha. And then Lewis calls Max a dickhead in the heat of the moment. I get it, but still think about your words a bit. But it doesn't matter. But everyone goes like, ooh, have you? It's like in a pub. You're like, hey, yo, you want to hear what he said about your girl? It's a bit like that. They just stir in shit for no fucking reason whatsoever.
Oh, I love that impression. That's every single Dutch nightclub. Yo.
Yo, what up, girl? Yeah, no, I totally.
It just reminds me of Chew trying to pull. Oh, it's banter.
Like your mate, like we all follow him on Twitter. Your mate Ash, like he always retweets the stupidest stuff F1 tweets, and he gets so enraged about it. And I think I caught it as well. Like if I see
it's like a disease.
If I see one more tweet about Raikkonen is so cold, yes, leave him alone.
There's nothing wrong with that. If he doesn't like doing the press stuff and he's earning it, he's been racing for like years. Obviously, he doesn't like the press stuff anymore. He just wants to get in the car and race. Unfortunately, he's not that
good. He's been racing since '99.
Too long, man. Too long.
I think Raikkonen is literally the guy who turns up to the race, gets a cup of coffee, goes, good morning, sits in the car, drives goodbye, and goes back home.
Literally, yeah.
But that's him. That's been his style and his character for how many seasons now?
Since it's been an F1, in fairness.
Yeah, just leave it. Focus on other things.
Because wasn't there a bit of a press conference pre-race where he asked Kimi a question, a journo asked Kimi a question that he just kind of had.
Yeah, they asked like Kimi, if you had power to change, what would you change?
If you could change something.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't have the power. Yeah, I can't.
I can't. So what's the point?
That's a perfect answer. Like the journo asked a silly question. There's no way that's like your boss asking you, what do you want changing about where you work, and you just list off a load of shit and say, give up.
And get fired.
And then get fired. Yeah. Like,
if they said, what would you like Ross Brawn to change or Liberty Media to change, then that's a better question, because that's then basically giving the question directly to someone who's then telling someone else who can do what what's been mentioned. But saying to Kimi, what would you do if you could? It's like, well, yeah, but you can't, and you never will be able to. So what a stupid question.
You remember, like, I'm going to take it back to your school days, or some of you are still.
God.
But, like,
Rick is too young for that.
When you were, like, you put your hand up, but the teacher goes, like, yes, and you go, like, I have a question, it might be a stupid question. And then they answer, there are no stupid questions. Those people have never watched F1.
Yeah. True. Teachers would hate F1 press conferences.
Yeah.
Hate them.
Yeah. I've just got, I did tweet out earlier about questions for the podcast. So if you are listening, you want to tweet us any questions, let us know on the Grid Watchers brand new Twitter that we've now established finally after a year of podcasting. I got a question from Lot Crotan 918. He's asking, were you happy that there were actually more than one strategy in the race today?
Yes.
Or not yesterday?
Yes.
I mean, does that come under the stupid question category?
Yeah, that's a pretty stupid question. Yes, obviously.
Well, yeah. No, I actually really like the one stop when you can't overtake anyway. But yeah, of course we like the multiple strategies because it just makes it more interesting.
It gives you an ending, like we saw with somebody who did the two stop, closing down somebody who was on a one stop.
Bottas did the one stop, I think.
Oh, but no, sorry, someone who's on softs closing down.
Softs and mediums, and then some people did the two stop.
It's almost like I didn't watch the race. Christ, like, it was only yesterday.
It was yesterday. That's unreal.
But also, like last season, say you had minor damage on lap 1 and you went on the alternate tires. Like last season, not this season. Last season, it was pretty much damage limitation. Like this season, you can actually be competitive.
You can.
Maybe not for P1, but say you're a midfielder. Yeah, or podium, or if you're in midfield.
Yeah. You just have to switch that strategy out, which, it just makes it so much better. Makes it way more interesting.
It's like Lewis going from 9th to 3rd.
Yeah.
The strategy worked, and I think if the tyres weren't that good and the strategies, isn't as viable, then he definitely wouldn't have got 3rd. Like if he had to two stop that.
Yeah.
You would say no, but the fact that he started on a different tyre and did something different to what a lot of it's just there's so many different compounds of tyres now. when we get round to Monaco and the street circuits and we get the hypersofts, that's going to be mental.
That might actually be a 2-stop race, potentially.
Like, Monaco is going to be sick. There's not going to be any taking off. There's going to be a period of 10 laps where like you are going to see like a Toro Rosso, maybe like back in the podium again. And because it's technically you could be like you might be able to one-stop it. Like a Merc or a Red Bull's going to have to try and make a move and overtake. And that's going to be good to watch because they're going to be desperate to get past because he's going to be slow.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a slower car and obviously be on the tyres. Like, we just got to wait for all these new tyre compounds to come into effect. And I think eventually it will pay off, but the amount of people that were slagging it off, especially on social media, about all these new tyres, I think there's literally no need. You need to wait for a race and then start judging it.
And then, because speaking of Monaco, because they scaled the tyre back, so then the medium in Bahrain was the soft from last year. So so the tyres have been sort of scaled back. That means then that the ultra soft now is now almost a new tyre because the ultra soft last year is now the super soft. So you basically got 2 sets of softer tyres around Monaco. So that could be a 2-stop race where the hyper soft literally lasts like 10 laps and then that's it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the tyre choice for this weekend. It's been made available. It's medium soft ultras.
Okay.
And
medium soft and ultras.
Yeah.
So missing the supers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting.
And Hamilton got 1 set of the mediums, where some others as well.
No, that can't be right because they use super softs in quali. That makes no sense.
But I'm looking at it.
What?
Must be then.
The F1 tyre supplier brought the Super Soft as the softest available compound to both 2016 and 17 edition of the Shanghai Formula 1 race, but a red wall tyre will not be used at this month's 3rd round of the season.
Oh, we're talking about China.
That spices it up.
Still, fuck it, I'm so slow. Sorry,
But Ferrari going very aggressive with 2 extra sets of ultra softs compared to Mercedes. Red Bull in the middle because obviously they can't come up with their own fucking strategies.
They're both going to crash out within the first couple of corners. So.
Oh, don't even.
It won't matter.
Yeah.
What time is it? Is it stupid o'clock again? Because I'm not waking up for 3
early.
laps.
It's not quite so early. It's about 7 in the morning, I think.
That's all right.
That's acceptable. Oh, how much did we fuck up our predictions? Or Bahrain?
Oh yes, we did.
I mean, I was close with Kimi.
I got Paul correct. Wait, Vettel got Paul right? Yeah. And then the closest one is Ollie with Lewis, Vettel, Bottas.
Stuff you guys.
Causer and Rickson, you had Raikkonen, and I had Max.
Yeah. I mean, I had
There's
Ricardo.
no point. I'd go far enough to say the first time I see Max on the podium. I guarantee it at this point. The guy can't drive a car to save his life, man. He's way too.
I mean,
accurate.
you're wrong. You are wrong.
He's got no patience.
I mean, a lot of the F1 community disagrees with you.
They can suck my
No, they
ass,
don't.
They're all about 13. Can't tell me anything.
I mean, let's you talk about the F1 community where we did an entire podcast on them.
Yeah, okay.
They wouldn't ever talk down on me anyway. I am the king.
Yeah, but the F1 community isn't just Twitter.
It is.
Okay.
But all the sensible people on there.
Yeah, true.
Yes. Next topic, I wanted to talk about esports, and they've just, of course, just announced the next instalment with a whopping £200,000 prize pot for the winner, which is that's life-changing money. That is.
I could probably blow that in a couple of weeks.
Okay,
Well, you take us all
person, that is a lot of money.
tickets and the beers.
It is. I mean, think about how much one beer costs, 1 pint. You know, you could go on a few weeks of straight benders with that, and then I'll have no money left. So.
How many Freddos is that?
Well, nowadays,
3.
Nowadays, you can only probably buy about 1 with that much money.
Oh, Jesus. I love
Although,
how that's a form of currency.
would you accept? Well, obviously we would accept it, but say you've got any dignity, 200k for crowning yourself champion of the most broken game in the last century.
It's such a shit title. I have F1
No, because the finals be played on F1 2018.
It's not.
Is it?
So how
And
mad's
that's
this?
magically going to be a great game.
How mad's this? The first half of it is played on 2017. Second half played on 2018. What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
it is.
first of all, that I'm going to go on like a little mini rant here. First of all, second, they put in the rules that you can't be in a pro racing team. What?
Which takes all of the top drivers out.
Everyone in like AOR Tier 1 eliminated. But a few people in Tier 2 out. All of the pro drivers out. They can't win it. So, if anything, Alex, I think you've got a perfect chance of winning this year.
I mean, in fairness, Chuk, you're apparently in F3 for AOR, so you might be sorted.
No, I'm commentating F2 and F3. Pipe down, Alex.
I mean, in fairness, I think we should just all enter. Ken might have a go. He's won the ninja.
Ken,
so he might have a go.
Ken's probably got the best chance.
Potentially.
Can you imagine actually getting as far as like the big final and go like, where did your racing career start? And then you just go like, noob journey.
Ken, buy a noob journey t-shirt for it.
The thing, I think the main reason, nobody said this on Twitter yet, and it's only recently that I've been thinking about it, but I think they've stopped real like racing teams from joining because obviously you've got the links with the actual F1 teams this year who have all got 2 drivers each to pick from, and that's going to conflict with some drive like G2. There's no way they're going to let Kem drive anything else but a fucking McLaren, because they're linked with the team. Makes no sense for them to be in something else. That's awful for the brand. And also, if they were going to get pro esports drivers in there, and if they qualified and did well, teams would ask money, and that would take away from the prize money. And then £200,000 doesn't look as good, when you take away all of like the wages that they would have to pay, and then the money wouldn't go to the driver, the money would go to the team, and then the team would give the driver a cut of the money. So overall, that money's going to go from 200k down to maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe 30, And then saying that even further, the team's then going to make that whoever wins. Let's say it's Brendan Lee again, right? Esports and cars are going to make him buy, because that's a lot of money for somebody his age. They're going to make him buy a better rig, buy a better wheel. They're going to spend a lot of the money that he wins on him, where he might actually want to spend it on something else or a bit of ways. And they've done it really well, how they've done it, but I think that professional esports team rule is ridiculous, and they should take it out because they do not know the types of people that they're trying to enter.
I mean, in fairness, if that's the case, I reckon Harry Jackson's got a great chance.
Yeah, he's washed up now. He's too busy playing fucking Halo, licking his dick all back. No, that rule's silly. The fact that Codemasters still make it's ridiculous. The fact that Lee Madden, the bald nonce, has managed to make the game this big is frankly it's just so broken. And we even found out at the finals that so many drivers lost their chance at stardom because the game broke. Same in the semi-finals, there was loads of races where the cars broke or the rigs stopped working. There was all this mad shit that was going on. And it's not in a good place. There's better games available that they can do this on. There's so many more better games. But it's just because it's the franchise title racing game or video game, should I say, that they're having to do it on that. And I think as early as they can, they should scrap Codemasters off F1, because especially with this contest now, that's definitely gonna bring a bigger game dev to look at it and go, actually, you know what? There's a lot of money in this game if we do it right, because the sport's massive, and so why can't the game be as big as FIFA? I think
being given to someone as big as EA or whatever,
they can make it an insane game. Or not, don't get me wrong, the game's good. It's just broken to hell, so that's why people stop playing after 2 months.
Well, it's the online that's broken to hell, isn't it? I mean, the main game, in fairness, is decent, but as soon as you go multiplayer, it's just you can't play it.
No one wants to play single player. Single player is boring.
Yeah, that's why you have a multiplayer bit. So the fact that they want to do this all on multiplayer is just,
it's not going to work. I can promise you. Up until 2018, they've got to change a lot and try and fix it. But for the first half, it's not going to work. There's going to be a lot of people pissed off.
Yeah,
not going to go.
Yeah, hopefully they do. But like we've all said, we highly doubt that they'll fix it. And I think it's, like you said, Rickson's silly that they're not allowing probably esports teams in. But it's nice to see that they're they're putting a lot more money into it on the prize winning side, and you could buy a lot of F1 experiences rather than just the one like Brendan Lee's got this year. But yeah, it should be good, hopefully.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have to put the money into that. They should get all the cash and do whatever they want with it. They shouldn't have to put it back into F1 because that's just pumping money in a big circle. What's the point? There's no point in doing that at all. It just makes, to have prize money that big makes no. The prize should be something physical. It shouldn't be cash.
And like drive a Formula 1 car, for example.
Well, why shouldn't it be? Because League of Legends or
that's all
Counter Strike, that's money, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're all part of teams, and if you aren't allowed teams, what's the point? All those people that win is to go on the players' wages. In league, the prize money, most of it goes straight back into the business. If you can't be a part of a pro team to race in this year's Esports, what's the point? There's no point in having the prize money if it's not going to go back into wages. I think scrap the money completely. Don't have it. It's good though. Don't get me wrong. Like you're saying, it's good to have the money, but there's better ways of going about it than just throwing 200k. That money could go to, it's because teams can't be in it, right? There's going to be a lot of that money that is going to just disappear. Like I said, do a whole circle straight back into F1 or for next year. There's that whoever wins it is obviously going to be much more famous than they are now. But they've got to make sure that they do it the right way, because Brendan Lee's kind of been wrote off now. You don't see him on track anymore. You don't see him walking. Sure, he's going to Canada.
I don't know, maybe and it's just a shout here, but give the winner, I don't know, make him like the spokesperson or whatever, or how do you call it? Not just commentator from his house, but actually going to races, a bit of a job / internship in F1. I think that might trigger another kind of people than just the ones that sweat time trial.
Something like that,
like a fan ambassador.
That's the word, ambassador. That's what I was looking for.
Something like that would be 100 times better than just throwing money out, because that there's no way that whoever wins it is going to get all of that money. No way. Because
remember when we said there are stupid questions, and they are in F1. If you get a proper F1 fan, so not someone who's being paid to interview people, but someone, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but someone like Maddie from WTF1, who's a Formula 1 fan.
Yeah, well, bro. Yeah.
All right, but those guys ask questions that actually are interesting to other people watching or listening, whereas an interviewer just gets paid anyway because he works for a newspaper or whatever.
But now that Liberty Media have brought it, they'll just bend that anyway. They get certain people in the room with that guy to ask questions, to sway him in a certain way, to ask the nicer questions. They'll basically pay him off to not ask really hard and risky questions. It's just so false now. I mean, it's all don't get me wrong. It's sick that Liberty Media have taken over and they're pushing the game, and they're pushing not young people but semi-young people to sign up, because the age limit on it. But I don't think it's going to go well. I just really don't. I think 2017 is.
It's an amazing idea, but the wrong game.
The wrong game, and they're going about it the wrong way, horribly. I think it's a great thing to do, but I think getting them on TV and the winner gets to go to a few races, and you actually see more of the person. Because when was the last time you heard about Brendan Lee? Maybe.
What, in the podcast?
What?
That's it.
The last time actually on telly was the last race of last season. That was the last time we saw him walking around the paddock, because that was the finals. You haven't seen him anywhere near the build-up. The F1 Esports isn't being shown anywhere, from what I saw anyway, isn't being shown on Sky. Or isn't being shown
it hasn't been mentioned since
it's
before the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
It's all a bit unfortunate. Imagine 2 weeks ago in Australia, welcome to Australia. Here we are in the paddock. You can see Brendan Lee, last season's esports winner. This season we're looking for a new one. Blah blah blah.
Exactly. Yeah. That would be perfect. But the fact that they aren't going about it that way, and instead, if you don't play the game, or if you're not on Twitter, you don't know what. You have no idea. I reckon if you watched the casual fans have no idea, and I think it's very easy to get casual fans into that.
Yeah, definitely.
There's casual fans that play video games. It might not be F1 2017, but they might casually game, like they might play like COD or FIFA, and it's easy to suck somebody into. If they watch the sport, they're definitely going to like the game in some way. So I don't know why they are pushing adverts for, and money's there. They're giving 200k for the guy who wins, oh, Christ. They're doing it all wrong. They should hire me, I think. Get
No.
me and Dan Hawkins on it. We'll be well away.
Unbelievable. Yeah, because the thing is, you said about casual fans is that, like, my dad isn't as big an F1 fan as me, but he likes F1. I had the Esports going on in the sitting room while he was eating dinner or whatever. And he was like, what's this? Came over and sat and watched basically the whole thing. And he's never on a game console. He's never done anything like that, but just sat and watched it. And enjoyed it.
It's quality, but
yeah,
they've just got to get the bigger fan base, because currently the only people, maybe about 1% of the whole audience who watch F1, 1 or 2% of the only people who watch it.
Yeah,
200k for 1 or 2% is just bullshit.
Yeah, that proportion.
I'm just and this might not be popular opinion, and I think Duke wants to carry on anyway. But I'm just a bit done with esports in general, because they make an esport out of fucking everything in the last 2 years.
No, I agree.
And I know that's a whole discussion on its own, but wait till you have a decent game, then make an esport out of it, maybe. Because FIFA 18, they got esports for FIFA 18 in the Dutch league, and all you hear is, because it's uncensored, all you hear is the players going, "What a shite game! What a shite game! What a fucking bullshit!"
No, but the game isn't. FIFA is a really good game. It's just that there's a lot of shit in it which they can't stop from happening, because there's so many. It's that
different
famous
scenarios.
It's like that famous Lee Mather line. There's so many different things going on at such high speeds, or whatever he said. There's going to be lag, or there's going to be issues. But
that's just not a good advert for your game. Like,
no.
It happened at the finals, or what was it, semi-finals? I can't remember, when one of the two brothers lagged out of the game.
Yeah, finals.
Yeah, I think he probably got more followers on Twitter than the whole F1 esports account. If he gets knocked out due to your game being shit, it's going to harm your reputation.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, how many of us have played F1 2017 in the last 4 months?
I played it last night. That was only because of the only reason was because, and I was in the mood. That was the only reason. So
apart from finishing off the noob journey, no.
Yeah. It's just difficult, man. We could go on and talk about it all day.
Yeah, let's move on. Chuke.
Exactly. I've pretty much ranted away there for a good 15. So I'm happy with that.
You can cut that, Chuke. It's fine.
I just wanted to sort of finish off the podcast with, first of all, driver of the day after the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm going to go with Pierre Gasly, because he was gassed. He got fourth.
Oh, Jesus.
Pretty good.
Someone show him the door.
Oh, jeez.
They call me Chuke, the Banter King. In many places.
What?
That as well, yeah.
I mean, you could have just said. I mean, everyone's going to say Gasly because.
Nope.
Get all right.
I knew this was going to happen.
Stop Van Dorn.
Yes. Stone dead last by turn 1, finishing 9th, showing that he is and has learned a lot from Alonso and will learn a lot more to come. And also because I knew all of you were going to say Gasly. I know, like last week, I wanted to be special.
I mean, I agree with your point, but I mean, Gasly still deserves driver of the day.
Official driver of the day, yes.
P4, don't get me wrong, Gasly's insane.
Yeah, official driver of the day, fully deserved. Grid Watchers driver of the day will have to go to Van Dorn for me.
I'm not sure. I think it's going to be Gasly. I'm not sure about
that. I mean, he was helped quite a lot with Raikkonen, Verstappen, and Ricciardo retiring.
No difference.
But regardless, I mean, he still held
it would have been P7.
Cars.
Although Kevin was pretty good as well.
Magnussen. Yeah,
Magnussen did well.
Magnussen was good.
If we count Gasly, we got to count Magnussen as well.
Yeah, very true.
He did have a good race as well.
That's fair. I think a lot could have gone good. That midfield battle this year is going to be spicy.
That's going to be so good.
Gonna be
McLaren's currently winning that as well.
Spicy.
Hopefully, yeah. So, what is who's everyone's dick of the day for the Bahrain Grand Prix?
Oh wait, whoa. Never mind. No, because we're going about drivers of the day. Sorry, Chu. But like we all go like, oh yeah, Magnussen and Gasly. But I just seen that Ericsson finished 9th in his Sauber.
Yeah,
that was just because he was lucky. I wouldn't call that.
In fairness, strategy helped him a lot.
Yeah, but like now Sauber got 2 points. Like what?
Yeah, they got as many points now as they did last season.
Thinking about that puts Williams. If Sauber score more points than Williams this season,
Williams are fucked. I don't see him getting.
Well, they've got more points than Force India. Force India only have 1 point.
Yeah,
McLaren is ahead of Red Bull.
I know. I know. I'm so happy. If we had a face cam right now, my grin would fill up the screen.
Nobody wants to say that.
No, they don't. Dick of the day, Brendan Hartley.
What? Yeah, for cause of the crash with Perez. Any reason?
Yeah, of course, the crash with Perez. He was basically a lap down on his own teammate.
He's the god's son. He is just.
It was a lap down on his teammate. He's awful. He's filling a seat.
Nothing wrong.
Don't make this meme a thing, though.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
He did nothing
wrong. He's awful. He's so bad.
Perez turned into him.
No.
Christ.
False.
I mean, he spun Perez round and then I'm pretty sure still came below him.
My dick of the day is Lewis Hamilton, pit engineer. The amount of times Lewis said to him,
"Give me information."
When he was asking him what tack he was in, or something like that. Basically, what
times he needs to do, how much he's needing to burn, and all that.
He was just telling him he was telling Lewis the same thing over and over again. Like Lewis was like, "Yes, I know, but
yeah, is this fast enough? Am I in the right mode?"
And he could have just said yes or no. Yeah. But he said he was going, "We need you to do low 34s," and Lewis was like, "Yes, I fucking know."
Yeah. What was my last lap time?
I think Karun Chandler made a great point on Channel 4. He said that the race engineer was talking so much complex and Lewis just needed plain and simple information. And if he had that straight away, it would have been fine. But he was like, T24, then do this, then do that. And Lewis didn't want that. Lewis just wanted simple information. It would have been a lot easier for him.
It's just... They need to bring back... I can't remember what the rule is. I know what the rule is. I can't remember what it's called. With the team radios, how they can't... Stuff.
Well, I think that was revoked slightly. That's now a little bit...
Yeah, they're slightly more lenient with it. They should be able to say it.
But in fairness, I don't think what Hamilton was asking would interfere with that anyway. It was just going, am I doing the times I need to do in the right mode?
You have to feel that he was being difficult because he felt like if he just gave him a straight answer, he could have got penalised. I don't know. I don't know. That seems like the only possible reason why he wouldn't just go, "Yes, Lewis, you're going fast enough," or "No, Lewis, you need." But then, like a few laps later, we did turn around and was like, "We need you to speed up now." So, it was just odd. Definitely,
it was a weird one.
Dick of the day worthy, for sure.
Right, Ken, who is your dick of the day?
You can't pick your own.
No, I know. It's seriously nothing personal, but you kind of have to give it to Raikkonen for running over your own mechanic.
Oh no!
To be fair, that is a dick move.
Yeah, but it's a dick move, but it isn't actually technically. I can go now. So there we go. I can go.
Yeah. Oh wait, then I have to give it to the guy who gave green light because that's stupid.
Yeah,
Get back the lollipop man.
Yeah.
I actually think lollipop man.
Oh god damn it!
Oh fuck! I can't remember who tweeted that, but is it in IndyCar or another series and racing series? And I think it might be in America, which worries me because they got a better idea than us Europeans do. But they got 4 individual lights for each wheel gun operator.
Okay, that's interesting.
Just put that in. You put the bullshit halo in, and something that actually can hurt people. You just like meh, racing incident.
I'm used to that.
I'm over that halo, but
it still makes me violently ill. But I'll get over it one day. But just do that. Just do 4 individual lights.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would implement it, but that's why we got smart guys in F1.
Yeah. No, I do agree. Go on then,
So,
Chief, who was your dick of the day?
Well, mine was the lights guy.
Oh, okay.
But as I can't pick the same one.
Well, we did say that.
Well, yeah. Well, last week we said that, so
I've
we'll
just
change
made
it.
it a rule. Can't say the same. It's official.
I'm going to go for the Dutch interviewer for stupid questions again.
Oh, okay.
It's always the Dutch. Edit, lads.
Bloody Dutch, honestly.
That's fine. I ain't Dutch.
Shit.
Good point.
You do make a very good point. Very good point.
So finally, predictions for China, China next week. Which there's no break, which is lovely for us to see. Predictions as we always do on this podcast. I'm gonna go to Causa to start off with.
Great, I was really hoping you wouldn't. All right, pole position for Sebastian, and then win.
Wait,
Lewis.
I'm gonna type.
You're gonna type win for Lewis.
Vettel.
Yeah,
Then
win for Lewis, and then second. Lewis is getting a lot of wins at this rate, and then second for Vettel, and then third for Raikkonen.
Lewis, Vettel, Raikkonen.
Yes.
So the faith in Red Bull is just completely gone. Isn't it?
Yeah, I've given up with him.
Right, I got calls in.
Right, Rickson.
Lewis for pole, Lewis for the win.
Fuck's sake.
Vettel second. Third's difficult, man. Gonna say Bottas third.
Okay. We have that space in Red Bull.
That's pretty much what I do every single week. It's just the same prediction.
Go on, Semba.
I'm gonna go Vettel for pole.
Okay.
Vettel to win.
Mm.
Max for second. And Lewis third.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Come on then. Spice it up, Chick. What have you got? Where's Brendan Hartley?
Hartley for the win! Yeah!
Hartley for pole. Was it changed his condition?
The only man to qualify on draw.
Yes.
Lewis for pole. And then we're going to go Gasly for the win. Magnussen second.
Wait, what?
And Hartley third.
Wait, what? We didn't hit pole.
We didn't hear anything and suddenly it went Gasly for the win.
Gasly
What?
for the win. Like, what?
I said Lewis for pole.
Okay.
Gasly to win.
You've cut out again.
You cut out again. Oh, come on.
Farmyard one.
I'm sorry, was that Stroll for the win and then Sirotkin second?
Yes, that's what I said.
And then
yes, that's what
Clark in third?
I don't know, Ross Brawn.
Ross Brawn's just going to jump in the car, is he?
Won't fit in the car.
And win. Jensen Button first.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, no, Lewis for pole, Lewis to win, Seb second, and do you know
Michael
what?
Schumacher
I'm gonna go Grosjean for third.
He gets trolleyed in. He gets trolleyed in on his coma and crosses the line. They just push him.
In fairness, he's got a better chance than Grosjean. Grosjean?
You've got Magnussen completely humiliating Grosjean, but you pick him out of...
Yep.
I mean, oh god.
Oh, he's gone for the French baguette to get
The sheep have taken over Cheeks more.
Jesus.
I think Chute needs to finish uni because it's messing with his brain.
Yeah, I'm half expecting one week for him to just say Gareth Bale. Just, get it over and done with. Bloody hell.
Nah, I'm not that direct.
We will let you revoke Grosjean if you want.
No.
Ken hasn't put it in the chat yet.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
Go on, Grosjean. Can I just say, if Grosjean gets third now...
It won't, but, we never know. It might rain, change it up. That Ferrari... So, I mean, Haas is quite good.
I see what you did there.
I have been very bantered in this podcast this evening. Oh, dear me. Dear me. Right, well, I think that rounds it off for today's podcast. Don't forget to check everybody out on Twitter. It will be down below. Don't forget to check it on iTunes and on YouTube. Subscribe to both. That will be fantastic. And we shall see you after the Chinese Grand Prix next week for a brand new podcast. Good night.
China!